Okay, greetings and welcome to our Sunday night live stream, 5th of February 2023. I would like to start by saying hello to Maria and Michelle, who are both in the live chat. If anyone else wants to pop in and say hello, let us know you're tuned in, or suggest anything you want us to look at tonight. It is being Sunday night stream. It is going to run a bit longer than we sometimes do. Yeah, probably an hour and a half, maybe an hour and 45 at the most. So, yeah, we are going to get started. We've got a few subjects to look at, but yeah, we do have plenty of time to take any suggestions. Yeah, Maria mentions the strange case of Nicola Bulley. And the moral mystery of... the moral of the mystery is don't work from home. To be honest, I don't even know the story. David's also mentioned another 33 popped up for her friend Jill Peck. 33 Masonic numbers all over the place. Yeah, I've got to say, David, it was you in my midweek Bobby Z show, and you actually mentioned the dog walker, and I hadn't really heard of it. I think the story must have just been breaking at the time. So yeah, thanks for suggesting it. Although I did say at the start of that stream, if anyone's got anything they want us to look at, we may not actually cover it in that show, but it's always good because quite often people will mention stuff in the live chat one week, and then the following week or the following stream I then actually follow up on it. So I do appreciate any suggestions. Before we carry on, I'm just going to check how the audio is playing back. Yeah, audio sounds alright my end. I hope it's all okay your end. Right, yeah, we will be looking at the Bulley story, Nicola Bulley. As we can see, I don't know, well, yeah, she's, as you look at the thumbnail, she is just to the very right of the picture, pushing her pram, and someone's being interviewed, and right next to him is Ian Huntley. I don't know if you remember who Ian Huntley is. If not, we will refresh your memory. However, we're going to start with another subject that's come up soon. I just heard about it today, and yeah, I'll tell you what it was. I was at a meeting with my in-laws, who are, I think you'd have to say they're pro-royal, and they mentioned about some woman selling a story about sleeping with Harry, which isn't actually the case. He published it in his book. And they were saying, like, and all I had to stop myself from laughing because I was just thinking, I bet she looks like a tranny. I don't think I've seen an actual image of her yet. I might have done, but I didn't say that because it probably wouldn't go down too well with them. But I just wanted to, let me share my screen. Actually, before we do that, I am going to, as usual, invite, if you guys like the stream, just to hit the thumbs up button before you leave tonight. And if you're not ready to subscribe, why not? Try it and share over on social media if that is your thing. I'd also like to, as always, shout out and thank my Patreon supporter Linda. If you want to see what I do over on Patreon, there's a QR code on the screen, link in the description, or just go to patreon.com/BZines and see what you think of my stuff over there. Let's see. Okay, I'm going to put my display on. And we will... Oh, talking of social media, yeah, in the live chat I have posted a link to this tweet that I've just put up. If you want to retweet it, go for it. Right. Let's read this rubbish. Woman who claims she took Prince Harry's virginity finally breaks silence. Now, well, apparently in his book, which has been described as, the book Spare, which all these news stories are pretty much just an advert for. Well, 1 second, let me just, I'm going to switch off the background music so you can hopefully hear me a bit clearer. They've said it's a typical story. What is this story painting a picture of? We've got, right, what one are we going to start with? Harry only lasted 5 minutes, claims older woman who took his virginity. Apparently Harry's fornicated with some woman. Actually, where was it they actually went into detail? It was on one of these two stories. Speaking of names and numbers, I am curious what Sasha Walpole is, so why don't we bring up our numerology calculator. Of course, tonight we're going to be putting a scrutinizing eye over mainstream media and looking to see if any of what I think I've come to know as the hoax codes, I mean the numbers, the colour schemes, signs and symbols, all the things that just seem to come up in every single news story. Yeah, as far as I'm concerned, mainstream media has lost all credibility and should be viewed with suspicion unless you know the details of a story for yourself and can confirm it. Sasha, oh, why isn't it working? I wonder if my keyboard's dead. No, it shouldn't be. I see what I'm doing wrong. Sasha. Interesting surname, Walpole. It's 42 in Pythag and 46 in Chaldean. Right, Walpole on its own is a 30 or 33. So yeah, Walpole is a 33 in Chaldean numerology. And Sasha... What is wrong with this keyboard? I am actually starting to have issues. I do wonder if I might need to change the battery soon. I might try that in a second actually, because it keeps not entering text when I want it to. We'll see. Okay, Sasha is a 13 and a 12. Okay. So yeah, already we've got a 33 name, Walpole. I hope you guys can read this text alright. Perhaps I'll try zooming in a minute. Try and get rid of some of these adverts. Is that better or worse? Hopefully that's better. Yeah, the Duke of Sussex, of course. This isn't a case where a woman's come out and... Yeah, how classy is this? In an interview with the Scum on Sunday, digger driver Sasha Walpole has alleged that she is the mystery older woman whom Harry lost his virginity to in a field behind a busy pub. Classy guy, Harry. What a hero. We will watch this video if it's anything to do with what... Yeah, Harry's dating history. Let's see what that story's all about. Let's see if any of the women give us cause for concern. We'll go back to that in a minute. Sasha 40 explained how she'd kept their secret rendezvous under wraps for 21 years and only chose to speak about her experience after Harry put pen to paper. So this is just getting someone to back up his story. She said, "I'm surprised Harry put it in a book. It was such a long time ago. We were teenagers. It just doesn't seem a big deal to me because I'm obviously known for so long." Well, obviously, yeah. Nobody from back then would be surprised that it was me and Harry. A lot of people knew about it. She added, "Our lives have gone in different directions since then. If I seen him in the street, I would like to think that we would go for a drink. We were really good friends back then and I wish him all the best." In his eye-opening memoir, this is pretty much just a publicity stunt for this probably terribly full of lies autobiography about the long four-headed prince. The Duke intimately describes how he lost his virginity to an unnamed older woman. He claims it took place in a field and that the woman treated him like a young stallion. Yeah, good one. This is fairy tale stuff, of course. The whole idea of kings and queens and princesses and princes is straight from the world of fairy tale. Now, I know people who have met Harry, met Charles, or at least they believe they've met Charles and Harry. As I say, people who are quite pro-royal, and maybe consider it one of their proudest moments to have met one of these people. I could tell you the story about, I knew someone and they worked in a shop, and apparently 1 week or 1 month, and it was not far from the Highgrove area. It was in that sort of vicinity, part of the world. And 1 week William came in and bought something, and the person I know said, "Oh, are you Prince William?" And they denied it. And then 2 weeks later, Harry supposedly, also came in, and I don't doubt what they're saying, I don't think they're lying to me, but Harry came in and they said this time they didn't ask him, they just served them 20 Marlboro Lights or something. And it just got me wondering. Anyway, let's see. A bit of a coincidence that they would both go into the same shop, almost. Who knows? So right, I'm going to mute this. As I say, they're trying to present this guy. Look at him. Is that not a wig straight out of Coronation Street? Does that face even look kind of real? Mr. Flathead. I can't get over how flat his forehead is. I believe if you saw this guy in real life, he would just look like he would stand out like a sore thumb, like most celebrity famous people would. And I bet the woman that he supposedly had this rendezvous with also would stick out like a sore thumb. We'll have a look. Let's see. Prince Harry's dating history. Following the release of his memoir, Spare, the actress has denied she was the woman. Oh, they thought it was Elizabeth Hurley. Wow, already, right off the bat. Right off the bat, look at who we've got here. Liz Hurley. You might think she looks, perfectly fine here. We do get another shot of her in a minute, though, where it just looks like a freaking man in a dress. Look at those shoulders. Surely no one's buying that, are they? Whatever. People could say shoulder pads, I guess. But big jaw, big forehead. Whereas Harry's forehead lacks any slope. Hers has got it going on in droves. I will make that point. Right, he lost his virginity to rumours... What? Oh, right. Rumours started as Elizabeth had a home in Gloucestershire. At that time, but she set the record straight in an interview with the Scumday Times. There we go, man in a dress, big wide shoulders. Okay, there we go, another one. Harry used Spare to deny an alleged flirtation with the Hollywood actress. Well, that's not Liz Hurley. Oh, Cameron Diaz, okay. Wow, the prince gets around, doesn't he? Funny how they all seem to have quite unusual shaped shoulders compared to, okay. He wrote that the rumours typified press deceit. I hope you can read that. Hang on, if I make it large screen, is that better? The rumours typified press deceit, and that he had never been within 50 metres of her. Okay, the thing is, all we ever hear from Harry is from the press. That is the royal's mouthpiece, the mainstream media. The Queen's speech takes place on BBC One. They report the same stuff that every other journalist and news outlet reports. So the press, that's exactly what Harry is. I mean, he's from the same kind of place. Right. It's all fairy tales. In 2003, when Harry was just 19, the young royal was said to be linked to sports reporter Natalie Pinkham. She's not Pinkham. Okay, wide neck, but look at the ears. Whatever. More convincing than Liz Hurley. I'll give him that. The prince reportedly caught the Towie star's eye in London's China White nightclub in 2004. My goodness. Oh, Lauren Pope. Sorry, these are all about different people. I'm forgetting to look at the name in the top corner, which I'm guessing you can't see because, yeah, I'm not showing enough of the screen. But this is Lauren Pope, someone from Towie. Was that program even still going back in 2004? Maybe. We'll let it play on. Years before, she appeared on the reality show. Yeah, that person. Long face, huge, great big cheekbones, big jaw, of course, that you always get, and ridiculously wide shoulders. So, of course, yeah, they're going to be linked to Prince Harry, because that is right up his street. Oh. Did we just get a hint of an Adam's apple there? And I'll let that play back again. Just there, I don't know if you can see it, just above this, it's got a St. Christopher's necklace plus a C shape. And yeah, just there, there's a hint of a bump, and on this one actually, or at least a scar, maybe a tracheal shave scar, who knows. Who's the next person they're going to tell us about? Casey Summer, the former lingerie model, revealed details of their alleged night together in the same club on the same night. Are we supposed to believe that Harry's son... Look at her ears, by the way. Check those ears out. That is one for the scrapbook. Right, hang on. I'm going to have to come out of full screen, I think, to get that. That's a shame. In fact, I'll just take the whole face. Right, let me just save that. And yeah, I'm gonna use it to zoom in on that ear. I don't know, does that look natural to you? Not to me. I also will point out they also seem to have facial hair. But whatever. Okay, some lingerie model. Casey Summer was the next person. An ex-girlfriend of comedian Russell Brand. Well, that says it all. Casey told the Mail online that the princely encounter... What about the princely encounter? Made the hair stand up on the back of her neck. Oh, he must be such a guy. Just think, Harry... I wonder if he takes his fake hair off. Anyway. Yeah, made the hair stand up. What she means is he took his wig off and stood it up on the night counter because, well, that person's probably wearing a wig as well, to be honest. They want us to believe that Harry is some kind of top guy. It's not really guy, to be honest. But they're even using images to illustrate, just to... Wow, okay. Chelsea Davy. Prince Harry's longest relationship remains with his ex-girlfriend Chelsea Davy. Let's see some of the pictures of this one. I've seen it before, actually. In fact, Harry's just starting to take on his bizarre fake hair look. After an on-off romance, things sadly came to an end in 2011. I don't know. Okay, she doesn't look particularly masculine, but again, strange ears. Harry's spotted the press. Yeah, good one. Like every picture you see of Harry is staged for the camera. They're all staged, I think. Right, is that a tracheal shave scar? Or is it just a crease you get in the neck? Actually, compared to the neck, her head seems very small, almost like the jawline, the jaw has possibly been taken away. Real Housewives. Oh, this is Catherine Catherine O'Mani. Again, typical TV Hollywood personality with a massive jaw once again. Big wide cheekbones. The forehead, maybe they've done something to that to make it look less sloping. I don't know. Oh, they kissed on a night out. Yeah, I believe that. Lots of lines going on this person's neck. And again, they look like... You can't see them because they've hidden them with the earrings, but... Right, she was 34 and he was 21 at the time. That makes 55, a dual number. And they met at a trendy bar in London's Chelsea. Before moving onto a clip. I mean, all these encounters are all detailed to perfection before moving on to Eclipse nightclub in South Kensington. Are they not just promoting these clubs? Her teeth don't look very straight in that image, by the way. Fake teeth, maybe? She kind of looks like Ulrika Johnson a bit as well. Okay, Astrid Harbord. Yeah, need I say more? Just take a look at that face. It's and the shoulders, of course. Kate Middleton's close friend was briefly linked to Harry, apparently. You just need this 3-minute video, so taking a long time to get through. During an off-again phase of their relationship with Chelsea, Harry was linked to the late TV star in the summer, Caroline Flack. Oh, that's the one who committed suicide. Does that actually look like the same person? That's Caroline Flack there. Skip back to that previous image. That's not them, surely. Yeah, this very, again, masculine head, definitely, no doubt about it. But yeah, that looks like a completely different person to, let's see it, that. Also, those teeth look completely fake. In fact, that might be one for the scrapbook again, sorry. That whole jaw. Have you seen the Joker in, well, the one with Kevin Keaton, is it, or someone? And the Joker's face. That's what it reminds me of. Okay, let me zoom in and we'll take a close look on those. I don't know if you can see it. They just don't look particularly natural. That's all I'd have to say on that one. Okay, that's the late Caroline Flack. Caroline shared her version of the events in a 2015 memoir, stating that as soon as the relationship went public, they had to call it quits. Following another breakup with Chelsea, this is Camilla Ronstadt. Something rather Molly King. Okay. Again, fake teeth. I don't know if you can see that. Looks like her teeth have just been probably underneath that. The ear sort of looks rubbery as well, but we won't go there. Big jaw, big square jaw as well. I'm not sure if you can see that. Florence Brundle Bruce. Someone else goes here. Introduced by his cousin. Procedure is such that you can be increasingly overwhelmed with public attention. Procedure, I guess. But she makes her clear. This is Camilla Thurlow. I made a video on this person about yeah, just how fake their baby looked. It basically, yeah, it looks like she's holding a doll on her on her Instagram account. I mean, it's blatantly a doll, but hey ho. Right, how much more have we got? We've got about another 45 seconds of this video, and then we'll move on. Again, very strange proportions. That is not a natural face. I don't care what you say. That person has either had a load of plasticine and rubber stuck on their face, or they've had implants done, like some sort of severe Botox to give their face a completely unnatural shape. Again, looks like the Joker. Again, one for the scrapbook. Sorry, I can't let that one go. I will release this scrapbook one day. The Celebrity Freak Show. Right. Let's see. Ellie Goulding. Say no more. By the way, big white jaw. There they are together. Again, how small is Harry's face compared to Ellie? I mean, look how wide her eyes are apart, and then look at Harry's tiny little features, his very high up earlobes. Anyway, well, there's no photographic evidence that exists, and Ellie has continued to stay silent. What are they on about? We're looking at photograph. I guess that's okay. So if there's no photographic evidence, you can dismiss it, because images are never photoshopped of Harry, believe me. Jenna Coleman, don't even know who this is. Oh, someone that was on Doctor Who. Square jaw. That's all I'll say on this person. And of course, we could put these names through the numerology calculator and see what comes up. Look how thin that neck is. And yeah, again, strange ears. I just can't let that one pass up. I mean, I suppose, and strange kind of nose that looks like she's had surgery done to it. Is it rhinopsopy? And again, straight out of the fairy tale Prince and Princess. Of course, my belief is everything written about Harry and Meghan is a fairy tale. Anytime you see anything the only time you see things written about kings and queens, it is all fairy tales. Right. Do we want to watch another minute now? I'll let it play through and you can read the rubbish that it says, but I'm not going to stop it. I'll have a quick look at the live chat. Greetings to AJ and Nathan Oakley. Oh, there is a musing playing during you talking. Just FYI, I think one of the ads has music. Okay, is it still going? I see. Thanks for the update, Nathan. Hopefully it didn't make everything play horribly. Yeah, this webpage is awful because it looks like they're all playing at once, although they should all be muted. Let me check my audio. Thanks for the feedback, by the way. This webpage is awful because it looks like... Right, let's have a look. Okay, I hear the music in the background now, yeah. Hopefully that's stopped. Right. Just looking at the chat. AJ says Ian Huntley is innocent. A great travesty of justice. What happened to him? Well, we'll have a look at that and see what the situation is on it. And David says James is... Oh, sorry. Harry is just like his dad, James Hewitt. Yeah, I just find it interesting that everything, you know, that you'll never see in the press like talk of him being anything but amazing at what he does. As I said, all fairy tales. In fact, I think the one place where you will find, the mainstream media is not the place to look for about truthful events on this guy. We are going to be moving on from him soon, actually, to the next story. Right, she now identified herself as 46. Yeah, apparently she claimed that the sex was passionate and sparky. You just said it lasted 5 minutes. What are you on about? Yeah, have fun with your fornication. So just right, bear with me, I'm just going to... Okay, where are we? Bear with me. Right, so yeah. Again, this is probably just one big advert for Harry's memoirs. I don't think I'll ever bring myself to read it. I'm sure we'll soon see it in the shops, like half price. Okay, so the next story, as I said on my last episode, on my last episode of the Bobby Z Show, we streamed. David in the live chat mentioned the dog walker, and it wasn't a story I was actually familiar with. Where is it? I've got to go to my history, I think. Let's see. What? Where is it? Maybe it's on the... Oh, there it is. Hang on. Breaking news. Here it is. Well, here's one of the stories. There was a particular video I do want to watch. Right, these are supposedly the first images of Nicola. If you're not familiar with this story, apparently Maria says the moral of the ad of the story is not to work from home. So maybe, I'm sure we can find out on this. Right, have we got any audio? Let's see.
Nicola Bully on the morning she disappeared.
What do you notice about these images? None of them show her face. Maybe they will later on. Let's see.
With her dog Willow just visible in the boot.
She's shutting the poor dog in the boot. Wow, harsh. Or is it one? Okay, there's back seats. Gotcha.
Images are from the family's
Still can't see her face.
Camera. It shows the missing mum wearing the clothes she was last seen in, preparing to drive her daughter.
Okay, that's almost a picture of her face, but again, such low quality.
Daughters to school. That was 10 days ago.
Is it because, yeah, that person who we just saw stood next to a car looks nothing like the person they've been showing in the in all the posters. She does have a very long mouth, by the way.
Desperate for answers. On Saturday, like us, Nicola Bully's family spotted a police search helicopter.
What is curious about this case is this is one person, one woman's gone missing. People go missing all the time, all around the world. Why was it that this person's disappearance was considered of more relevance than anyone else's? By the way, let's just see how some of those names add up. Let's see. Bully as well, being a bit of a strange surname. Okay, in the Pythag or Chaldean there is no... none of the common ones coming up with that name.
Above the village where she went missing. Her partner Paul shared the moment with Sky News when their youngest daughter Sophia saw it too from the car window.
I mean, who are they trying to convince with this stuff? Why would they even present half this stuff about one missing person?
Daughters, Harriet and Sophia, are 9 and 6.
We're all a group of mums. Most of our children all attend the same school.
They are girls full of questions about when they'll see mummy.
It's hard for them. They've got all the same emotions as everybody else and they want to see the mum.
Will we see any emotions in any of these videos? We will see.
And they don't know where she is and, they just desperately want a home. And I guess that's all they're asking all the time is, where is she and is she coming home? Yeah.
Today, the local church held its usual family service, Friends tell us they're trying to keep things as normal as possible for their missing friends' daughters, like taking them to the school disco that went ahead on...
Everyone seems all in very good spirits in this video. Yeah, this isn't actually... There was another one I wanted to see. Right, where are we? Certainly isn't that one. Alright, bear with me actually. I'm gonna find the video I'm after. And then, yeah, whilst we're waiting, yeah, AJ says it's a fantasy version of his life. Of course it is. The same people that present us these people. Right. This is the video where they appeal for key witnesses. Let me just bring my screen back up a minute. I'm sure this is the correct one. I will just check a second. Yeah, this is it. Right, this video was a day ago. So 4th of February, this one came out. Yeah. When I was living in Bath, or maybe just around the time that I left Bath and was living there was a case of over 5 years. They lost 5 people in the river, and I don't think any one of those people made like the national press. However, when this dog walker was believed to have fallen in the river at the time, it was, again, as always, picked up by every single news outlet, which is a bit odd. Whereas, yeah, in my local river, the 5 people that lost their life, I don't think... I mean, they may have got a brief mention, but it never went into what this story is turning into now. Right, we'll watch it through. By the way, greetings to Jeff Gashead. Seems like her boyfriend is the only one looking for her, maybe. I think this is going to be an interesting one. We'll see. Because I'm going to make a prediction on how this story would get. Now, that might seem ridiculously inconsiderate to make predictions on the outcome of a woman's life, but if I genuinely thought this was a real woman's, then, well, if I thought this was anything other than the scripted media, I would never make such a prediction. But anyway, let's see. Oh,
it's a small Lancashire town in a desperate search where no one wants to give up looking.
No one wants to give up looking. As I said, when... Maybe it was because the body was found quite the next morning. Perhaps that's why it wasn't such a big deal in Bath, whereas this is just a missing person. But again, people go missing all the time.
Tonight, search teams in the dark and rain responded to a community call-out.
Do they search in the dark? Maybe.
Into the river close to where Nicola Bulley's phone was found. They pulled out what looked like a green chair, but police...
A green chair, did she say? My hearing's not good enough. I need to put the subtitles on. A green chair, yeah. Who cares about a green chair? What, so someone's piece of garden furniture? Is that relevant to this case?
Are appealing for any new information, calling now for this key witness to come forward. A woman seen here pushing a pram who...
Oh, I thought that was the person that had gone missing, but no, they were a dog walker. So
police believe was in the area where Nicola disappeared on Friday morning. As the investigation continues, Nicola Bulley's friends say it's too soon for condolences, that the police theory that Nicola fell into the river is not...
One bunch of flowers, by the way. I know they've not announced this person as dead, but still, that's not much of a... Considering the amount of press coverage this story's got. Michaud says it's all to keep you distracted from the inflow of military-aged men in the country. Okay. Oh, and Spare 2 will be the Chamber Pot of Secrets. Yeah, no doubt they will bring out another memoir or a biography on Harry sooner or later.
One they can as yet accept.
As far as we are aware, there is no evidence.
By the way, does that hair look natural to you? Does that hairline? Just something about it. Just seems like... Look at her eye line. Look where her eyes are. In fact, we'll do our usual. Maybe it's not that unusual. Perhaps I'm just imagining it. But look at where her eyes are. Chin. And then the actual top of her head is here. That, I don't know. Isn't the eyes normally halfway? Isn't the eyes normally nearer to the top of your head than they are to the bottom? Well, not with this person. That distance compared to that distance, I don't know. Perhaps she's just got a very tall skull, or perhaps she's wearing a wig on top of her natural hair. Who knows? I don't know.
That she is in that water, and I mean the police have been incredible with the resources that they have thrown towards that river. This is not adding up, and it's not adding up on a huge scale, which makes you think, well then there has to still be hope, because we're missing something is not making sense.
I believe you're about to see what will become a bigger part of this story very soon. I think this is the search party here.
Friends have established this, a community search hub in the village tennis club.
Use the words app as well.
Where people can come, take a
People can come and look at this map, and what on earth is that going to do?
map of the local area and try and help.
I've known Nicola for over 20 years. It's a distressing time for the
You can see the camera there, and this guy is focused. That's the only reason he is in this room, because the cameras are there. Once the cameras go, I bet that this looks like someone's kitchen here. I bet they just shut it and go back to living a normal life.
family. And my husband and I, we just felt that we wanted to come and...
Now, I'm not saying these aren't genuine members of the community that want to help look for a missing person, but...
You know, just come and look.
Yeah, get down there, get your map of the local area.
Lee Ward.
Here we go. This, I believe, will be a prime player in this story. If you remember the case of the Soham girls going missing, we'll carry on watching it in a minute.
Never met Nicola Bully. Doesn't know her.
Oh, that's an interesting detail to chuck in there. He's never met her, okay? He doesn't know anything about her.
Family, but he, like so many others, has seen her story and felt compelled to come.
I think.
Then why does he get such a big part in it? I mean, I know they showed us the person that had set up the search hub and some other key characters like her best mate, but why is this guy getting interviewed? This to me has Ian Huntley written all over it. Now I know AJ saying that was a massive miscarriage of justice. We could revisit we could look at that story. Obviously a very touchy one, but
I think it's one of them things you read it on the news and that, and it sort of eats you up inside, you know, thinking what they're going through.
For Nicola Bully's friends and families, there are still...
Will this man reappear in the story just like, where are we? Let's see if I can find it. Goodbye Prince Harry. He gave a very similar interview when they were looking for the Soham girls, as they were called, as they had gone missing. AJ says Bully can't be a real name. It doesn't... What? Oh, Daily Motion. This isn't the right video. Daily Motion are crap. They always... Right, are we... Let's see if we can...
College, and then I thought we'd better talk to the last person to say they had seen her alive, and that of course was Ian Huntley, and I talked to him just outside his...
Okay, Ian had admitted to seeing them, so maybe it isn't quite the same as this guy. We'll see.
house.
By the way, did you see that hand gesture he was just making? As I said at the beginning, we're looking for any of the hoax codes, the numbers, the colour schemes, or colour coding on their clothes, as well as signs and symbols, and
just outside.
Boom, there we go, straight away. He does that. To be fair, I mean, I haven't actually been looking at them, but are they coming up in this bully story?
His house in front of the village college there.
How do we know they were here at 6:15? Well, we have an eyewitness. Ian Huntley here is a familiar figure. Evening, Ian. You're the school caretaker. The girls, Jessica and Holly, would know you, and they saw you on the front doorstep. What went on?
The girl, I don't know the girls. I was stood on the front doorstep.
Isn't that just what this guy said? I've never seen her before, although the reporter actually said it for us.
Lee Ward has never met Nicola Bully.
Lee has never met Nicola, and Ian had never seen the girls, or something like that.
On.
The girl, I don't know the girls.
Oh, we didn't know
I
them.
stood on the front doorstep grooming my dog down. She'd run away and come back a bit of a mess. They just came across and asked how Miss Carr was, as she used to teach them at St Andrews. I just said she weren't very good, as she hadn't got the job. And they just says, please tell her that we're very sorry. And off they walked in the direction of the library over there.
He was full of it. Yeah. By the way, I'm not making any accusations about this guy. I don't even know him, but it's the way I see it going that this guy will appear again in this story.
Doesn't know her family.
We will
but
see.
Like so many others, has seen her story.
Down the river to say she's not there.
A forensic search and
All people, all with the same question: what happened that morning?
we sent footage from the scene to Peter Faulding. He's a forensic search and rescue expert and believes police need to intensify their efforts in the river.
It needs a high frequency.
All this for one missing person. As I say, people go missing all the time. The amount of money it costs to send up helicopters to search for people is obscene. And I mean, I'm not saying the police wouldn't do this to find a missing person, but how has this got so much media attention compared to the hundreds, the thousands of people that go missing every day?
Frequency sonar run down the river to say she's not there. I mean, we can walk up and down riverbanks all day long and look at and have people on the ground, but maybe them resources could be focused in other places.
We will see.
Here, neighbours, friends, family, even strangers are not giving up hope. They will continue their search for a mother who went for a walk and has not come home. Catherine.
And we will be hearing more about that in the future, I am guessing. Maria asks, why was he sectioned and taken to Rampton before he was charged? Is this a reference to Ian Huntley? Again, maybe that would be a good... I'll tell you what, I'll leave a link to this documentary if anyone wants it. I'll put it in the live chat right now. Ian Huntley doc. I don't know why I'm having issues with my keyboard. I reckon it needs new batteries. Ian Huntley documentary. Can't spell documentary anyway. I'll just put docu for now. And in the intermission, I will probably try and change it. By the way, yeah, I don't know if any of you use, what's it called? YouTube DL, but it is actually possible to download these videos using YouTube DL. It is a program I've mentioned in the past. yeah, I'll just mention this before we go to the live chat. Before we go to our intermission, which will be about 5 or 6 minutes, and then we'll aim to be finished. We'll be finished in the next hour, put it that way. YouTube-DL. It is a program you have to download. Anyway, and it means that you can then use the command windows. Right, hang on. I'll just do you a quick demonstration. I'll make sure you can see it. Yeah, and from this you can download any video you want. So right, yeah, you put dash capital F, then it gives you all the different formats you can download it in. I'm going to do it now actually, just to save it. It works for YouTube videos as well, some other YouTube sites. I have put a little tutorial up on my channel about how to download YouTube videos. So small f, http://720-1 space, paste the website address, and that will be downloading that documentary. But yeah, YouTube DL. Again, I'm just going to put this in the live chat for anyone that wants to try it out. Yeah, it's not your typical program. Well, it is your typical program, but it's, yeah, involves the command prompt a lot more. Okay, when we come back, we will be, yeah, the intermission. Again, there's been another big story out there, which I'm just gonna, it gives me an opportunity to bring up some my views on it that I've already mentioned. Before we go to the intermission, I just want to thank AJ Wild, Maria, Jeff Gashead, Michelle, Nathan, and David, and anyone I've missed. I think that's everyone who have taken the time to comment in the live chat. It is much appreciated. I will keep up your comments the best I can. By the way, I did see Nathan in the live chat gave my channel a shout out on his wonderful show, and yeah, it upped my sub count by about 20, so I appreciate that. Yeah, for some reason my subscriber numbers has been static for like a good few years, and yeah, it got to about 2.1k and then dropped down by like 100 over the next 6 months, and then kept going up and down, up and down. And yeah, your shout out gave me some subs, so Nathan, very much appreciated. KG, I see you're just getting here in time for the intermission. In fact, yeah, what is the intermission? It is a video, as I said. Another story that's been out is Joe Biden ordering the shooting down of a Chinese spy plane. Oh, sorry, not even that, a spy balloon. So, this is the nearest video I've got that I've made. It goes a long way back, actually, this video. Let's see, the information is... It's my video from August 2018, the biggest lie not on Earth, looking at satellites. And, yeah, well, when we come back, we will have a look at the Chinese spy plane that was shot down by Joe Biden. Right. Yeah, I will warn you, this video is... Yeah, it's about 6 years old now, so it only goes on for 4 minutes 13. If I'm not back... Yeah, I mean, I've got to go and refill my drink and stuff, so I should be back in 4 minutes, but if not, it will loop a little bit. The audio isn't particularly good because I recorded it using a terrible microphone from what I remember. Hopefully the information's still good. I don't think this video is up on YouTube anywhere. It used to be, but it got taken down. So yeah, this video is loosely based on the next subject we'll be talking about. Okay. Okay, enjoy the intermission. Let me just put a little message up for anyone not sure what's happened. Right. Be back soon. ... I don't know why. Right. I need to change the batteries, I think. Be back soon. ... Make that a bit larger. Hopefully you can see it all right. Here is my video. Let me just line it up. Where are we? Okay. Yeah, as I said, I'll be back in a minute. Thanks to everyone who's taken the time to comment in the live chat, and KG. Don't worry about being late. I just very much appreciate you tuning in at all. Yeah, enjoy this 4-minute video of mine from 2018, and I'll be back ASAP. The biggest lie not on earth. Walk down most streets in Britain and you'll probably see a common sight on one side of the road or another, a satellite receiver. As far as we know, at least those who have ever given them much thought, this is receiving TV transmitters from a satellite floating above the earth. Now what an incredible invention, beaming transmissions from one side of the world to the other. Of course, beaming is an interesting choice of words as it doesn't specify if these radio waves are transmitting or merely reflecting the signal coming their way. At this point you might be asking yourself, is this a flat earth video? No. For the purposes of this presentation, when questioning the functionality of a satellite, we're going to assume we live on a spherical ball earth, as the curve of the earth is cited as actually being essential for them to even orbit. Now, your next question may be, why would they concoct a story about how TV broadcasts are delivered? As I'm specifically looking at the use of the Astra satellites that Sky Television use here in the UK, and who am I to even question it? Well, I'll answer the latter part of that question and tell you what I'm not. I'm not an electrical science engineer. I'm not a theoretical physicist. I'm not a telecommunications expert. But I am a person with enough common sense to at least query the vague, sometimes contradictory explanations we get for how all that machinery up there works. I also think I know when something doesn't sound right. As for the earlier part of that question, why would they fabricate satellites? That might be a tougher question to ask, but stick with me and see what you think. So let's ask, what do satellite dishes, or parabolic antennae as they're actually called, do? The simple way to answer that is to say they're receivers of radio waves and microwaves, which are actually a type of radio wave, such as the ones we've been broadcasting from one continent to another for the past 100 years or so. Although obviously the frequencies used and the amount of data that can now be transmitted has grown and matured. Just like those huge dishes you see, just like the huge dishes you see that are not actually beaming out signals as I always assumed, are also receiving radio waves, and they are actually called telescopes, so they are monitoring the heavens in the form of radio waves. The idea that a TV transmitter, some of which are enormous and require their own separate power generators, which output TV, radio and telephone signals in the form of radio waves, could be scaled down to something the size of a truck and run off no obvious power supply is a bit of a head scratcher, especially considering the distances covered. Take the Mendip transmitter near Wells in the UK. Now, this is the tallest structure in the southwest of England and delivers to a large area of the southwest. Now, there are at least 30 more of these transmitters used to distribute digital TV across the UK. However, when satellites are used, they somehow manage to do exactly the same using just 2 or 3. And bear in mind, these orbiting satellites are not even anywhere near the UK. According to a Sky engineer I was talking to recently, the satellite that beams out the signal received by the dishes on people's homes is in a state of free fall above the equator. Now, I struggle to get my head around how it is possible to stay in perfect alignment with stationary dishes that are attached to people's houses. I know you have to be an engineer in science to work out the technicalities of how much force would be needed to maintain the same speed of fall for an infinite amount of time, but we even see these satellites getting launched from space shuttles, or at least that's what the CGI pictures illustrate is happening. And the whole idea of geostationary objects that stay in the same spot relative to the Earth is an example of gravity becoming very selective. Some sources will tell you it is the curve of the Earth that makes this possible. But that doesn't make sense unless gravity's pull is coming from below the Earth, or certainly to one side or the other. You also have to ask how a geostationary satellite can be immune from the downward force of gravity. Like I said, it is a head scratcher. Okay, welcome back, and I hope you stuck with us through the intermission. I'll just check that everything's playing back all right at the moment before we go on to our final subject, which is loosely based on the video we just watched. In that, yeah, I've seen quite a few videos of people calling out the story as, again, asking the question, well, why would China be using a crappy machine stuck to a balloon if they've got this whole network of satellites which are supposedly covering all of Earth? Jeff mentioned in the chat that the dishes don't point up, but they actually point at TV. I guess you mean transmitters. Yeah, they don't. They certainly don't point towards the sky. I remember, I'm not sure if I mentioned it in that video actually, that let me think. Yeah, the dish. I asked this guy who was installing a satellite or a parabolic antenna. Sorry, they call it satellite dish, but that's a real name for them, parabolic antenna. And I said to him, "Oh, that thing's not really pointing at a computer in outer space, is it?" And he looked at me and said, "No." And then he realised what I just asked him, and he said, "Oh, yeah, no, it's pointing at the equator." And I thought, well, isn't that meant to have curved away? Oh, let's think, 12,000 miles away. How can it be pointing at the horizon but still pointing at the equator? Unless the equator is actually in line with the horizon, which, yeah, is the only kind of explanation I could work out for how those dishes can pick a signal up. Yeah, let's look at that story actually. I will... Let me bring up my screen again. AJ says there's no such thing as gravity. Well, no, it's just a load of interesting thought. Is it what you'd refer to as a popular guess or something? It's guesswork. They haven't got... yeah, it's just some... And again... it might not have been gravity. I'd have to look properly into this, but supposedly someone claims they... No, it wasn't gravity, but yeah. Anyway, I'll leave that one because yeah, it was something about a guy was in a trance and he got all this information on one of the... I'm not sure what it was. I thought it was about gravity, but it wasn't. It was about... He claims he received all the information in a trance, which is a wonderful way to... Of course, a lot of... again, as I pointed out in that video, the idea of communication satellites came from a science fiction writer, Arthur C. Clarke, and within just over a decade, they were up and out there and whizzing round Earth. Let's see. I'll bring my display up and we'll have a look at... Well, actually, I'll start by looking at some of the videos which have come up against it. I won't plagiarise them and just steal them, but there have been friendly fire. James LE3, this guy normally does some good videos on the...
Showing up on the first page of Google might
but it
not
looks like
be
he's
the
using
best for
copyrighted
everyone.
material, so they're forcing us to watch an advert. Right, I'm not sure. Let's see what he's actually written about it. I was just giving us a link.
Altitude balloons to conduct
Got any
surveillance
volume?
tests in the Midwestern states of South Dakota, Iowa, Wisconsin, Missouri, and
No,
Illinois.
I'm not sure if you're getting the volume. I'm certainly not. Bear with
According
me.
to documents from the Federal Communication Commission.
Yeah, maybe you are then.
The Guardian reports the surveillance balloons are carrying small satellite-like vehicles.
Hang on. Strange. Why is no audio coming through my end? Hang on.
With synthetic aperture radars, sensors, and communications equipment. The surveillance balloons travel at
That's
altitudes
annoying.
of up to...
I'm not hearing the video play. Wait there, 1 sec.
$65,000 feet and are used
Nope,
to track
not hearing a
vehicles
thing.
via the synthetic radars in all weather.
Which is a shame. So I assume this is to do with the Chinese spy balloon, but without hearing it myself, let's see, is that the case for all videos? Let's bring Ian Huntley back on.
Ian Huntley.
Weird, because I still hear that one. That's still downloading. Hopefully that hasn't changed anything. I see why it is.
The Guardian reports that altitudes of up...
It was the audio. It was all coming out of the wrong ear, so... yeah, it was all coming out of the left side, and I wasn't hearing that because I only had one earphone in at the time. So apologies, but it's only 59 seconds. We're going to have to go back.
High-altitude balloons to conduct surveillance tests in the Midwestern states of South Dakota, Minnesota, Iowa, Wisconsin, Missouri, and Illinois, according to documents from the Federal Communication Commission. The Guardian reports the surveillance balloons are carrying small satellite-like vehicles with synthetic aperture radars, sensors, and communications equipment. The surveillance balloons travel at altitudes of up to 65,000 feet and are used to track vehicles via the synthetic radars in all kinds of weather.
Good to know. So are they saying this isn't a Chinese spy balloon at all? It's actually something from something else? Yep.
The Guardian reports that the balloons use an advanced mesh networking technologies, which allows them to share data and communicate with one another.
Is that what all satellites are? Just up on balloons? None of them are actually, what is it? Orbiting, as it were. Lovely CGI imagery on this one, by the way. Yeah, so I'm guessing that video is referring to... Here we go, there's another one. They Live Truth. I'm not going to plagiarise this video. Actually, I should probably put a link to that one we just watched. It is only fair. Hang on. I'll put a link to James Ellie's video in both the live chat and in the description if you're watching this after.
Pentagon is using high-altitude balloons to conduct surveillance tests in the Midwestern states of South Dakota, Minnesota, Iowa, Wisconsin, Missouri, and Illinois, according to...
Right, okay. And yeah, it looks like, among many others, They Live Truth has also made a video about it, but perhaps we'll see what the actual press are saying, because yeah, I don't like stealing other people's... Again, this is only a 30-second clip as well.
Darlings, are you...
So maybe this is something from the mainstream. Let's see.
The supposed...
No, it's his own video. But if anyone wants to, again, I'll share a link to this one. Now maybe we'll watch They Live Truth. I'm sure he won't mind us using a bit of his work. It's only 30 seconds, I believe, unless that was just the advert. Okay. Oh no, 4.5 minutes. Right, we'll actually go to the mainstream for their take on it. An aerospace expert explains how balloons work and what they can see. And Chinese spy balloons. Defense officials say balloons were in the US airspace 3 times during the Trump admin. Okay, interesting. US officials say balloons were brought down on President Joe Biden's authorization. And in the wake of the Chinese balloon entering US airspace this week, a senior defense official saying Chinese spy balloons previously entered the airspace. So it's all been done before. And yeah, then it gets very political. Now, what is the purpose in this video? Are they, I mean, in this whole news story? Let's see their vid, hang on. This is, by the look of it, the moment that they shot the plane down. Shot the balloon down. Orchestrated, do you think? Let's see it. Hang on, I'll make it big screen for this moment.
Holy
Someone just maybe stubbed their toe or something. Someone laughing in the background.
Holy Oh my gosh.
Okay, like that plane that is flying away from the scene.
There it is.
Shot.
That's the jet.
Balloon.
And that's the balloon.
And
we just heard a big explosion.
It seems like it's coming down.
Okay, that was the Independent. Bear with me 1 second. Okay, yep. Yeah, it's always, the threat's always got to come from either China or Russia, haven't they? Mr. Trump appeared to be outraged at the statement from the Defense Department, and writing on Truth Social on Sunday morning, what on earth is that? That Chinese balloon situation is a disgrace, just like the Afghanistan horror story and everything else surrounding the grossly incompetent Biden administration. The previous 4 violations of sovereignty didn't go for as long as the most recent incursions, which ended on Saturday, and that's why the press never mentioned it, I guess. Chinese balloon station is a disgrace. Oh, this is where they're giving us info on the minute. Should we see what this outraged newsreader's talking about?
It can tell you.
We also briefed on that there was apparently 2 or 3 incidents in the previous administration as well.
Well,
oh, come on, I'm sure.
Now, but I think that the administration needs to come forward, because this is not an ability to say that this is a crisis that was handed to them. This is a crisis that has developed as a result of this president during his administration, allowing China to do a similar act before, not responding, and then clearly in this one, not seeing the urgency of what was unfolding. I mean, the president allowed this to go across our most sensitive sites and wasn't even going to tell the American public. If you hadn't broken this story, the American public would not have even known. There was no attempt to notify Congress, no attempt to...
I think this is NBC, so they're the ones who apparently broke the story. Let's see. The debris field created by shooting down the Chinese balloon is 7 miles long. Apparently that's not the first time satellites have been found with balloons on them. Satellites attached to balloons. Are all satellites, I can't read that a minute, sorry, it's getting late. All satellites are on balloons and 50,000 feet in altitude. That's a video by Planet Vericious, not quite what I was after, as I'm sure there is videos of people finding, here's one by Mark Sargent, of people finding them in their garden. Let's see what else we've got. Space satellite falls into backyard. This is maybe one without. I don't know, let's have a look.
Yeah, a bit of sci-fi hitting home for a Michigan couple when a satellite crash landed in their backyard, and their reaction? Priceless.
Never know what's going to happen.
What's that piece of string stick coming off of it?
This baby fell out of the sky and landed in our yard.
Space selfie. Take a selfie from space. Yeah, why not?
Nancy and Dan Welke, cool as cucumbers, discovering a satellite
What's that
that
red
crash
string?
landed on their property, still blinking and
Yeah,
still attached
on
to a
string.
parachute. Turns out the satellite belonged to Samsung, which launched it just days ago as part of a...
They said it was attached to a parachute. That thing didn't look like a parachute to me, I've got to say, in their CGI rendering. Where was it?
Part of a PR stunt to do the world's first selfie in space, attached to a parachute.
Hang on.
Nancy and Dan Welke, cool as cucumbers, discovering a satellite that had crash landed on their property.
There we go. Does that look as a parachute to you?
Still blink.
Look at that ridiculous, I don't know what that ball is meant to be underneath it. Is that Earth?
And still attached to a parachute. Turns out the satellite belonged to Samsung, which launched it just days ago as part of a PR stunt to do the world's first selfie in space. Samsung reps did visit the farm Sunday to make sure everyone and everything was okay. In a statement from the company, they said, quote, Samsung Europe's space selfie balloon came back down to Earth. During this planned descent of the balloon to land in the U.S., weather conditions resulted in an...
There we go, another one on a balloon. Greetings to affected area. Says, I'm late, I missed your Nicola Bully coverage. I took a quick look at the numerology just before I came here, and the number 9 features prominently. I'd have to have a look at that affected area. Yeah, one thing I did say, I'm just going back to that story. In one of the videos, a witness comes forward and says that he's helping to search for her, and that they make a big point that he'd never met her. So I'm wondering if this helpful guy might have a more prominent part in the story yet. We will see. But yeah, you can always skip back and watch this stream from the start anytime you want. We will be finishing in the next 20 minutes, definitely. But thanks for commenting. Good to see you in there. Also, greetings to Fish Out of Water. You didn't get the notification. Well, sorry to hear that. I believe you're one of my new subscribers. So thanks for tuning in tonight, Fish Out of Water. We've still got another 15 minutes left or so. Yeah, we're looking for images of satellites, supposed satellites, that have been found with balloons attached to them. Because obviously that's the story in China. Again, Chad Preston official, referenced The Simpsons. I don't just want to steal their video though. I can't bring myself to do that. Oh, something crash lands on the Navajo Nation. Let's see whether this one has a balloon.
To borrow a phrase from the old TV show X-Files, the truth is out there. Well, people in the Navajo Nation have been trying to figure out what crash landed in the high desert.
A Navajo Tribal Council delegate shared a picture of what looks like a satellite sitting behind his house. Team 12's William Pitts went to find out what it really is.
Oh. So it's not a satellite? Is that what they're telling us?
The whole Roswell UFO incident started with one guy in the middle of nowhere who found something weird. Tully Begay found something weird in the high desert on Wednesday.
Spaceship or satellite?
Sitting right behind Tully Begay.
What's this big red thing here? I don't know if you can see that. Is that a deflated balloon?
His house. His grandson watched it land. This thing came to a landing far from pretty much anything, in between the towns of Kayenta and Denihutso on the Navajo reservation.
People were calling me. They were asking me what was going on at the house.
A bunch of solar panels, some electronic hardware, looking very much out of this world.
Parachute. There's an orange parachute.
Yeah, there you go. Parachute, they're saying, but I bet it wasn't a parachute. I bet it was the only thing keeping it in the air.
It came down with it.
Navajo Council delegate Nate Brown shared the photo, joking that if it was
Yeah, interestingly, they've cropped out the parachute, and by the look of it, clever bit of cropping there.
aliens, they should bring a COVID vaccine with them. But the most likely explanation is probably a lot more
Nicely squeeze that load of crap into this story.
boring and does not include a cure for COVID. It's probably a weather balloon, just like the UFO at Roswell, but this time from Google. Google has been launching weather balloons.
See,
with
that isn't a parachute. By no means is that a parachute.
little miniature cell
In the sense that a parachute is something that you deploy to slow your landing down. It's something that's bringing it up.
towers attached to them. It's called Project Loon. They hope to bring internet access to remote areas of the world. The balloons can stay up for about a year and carry a payload that looks an awful lot like what dropped near Tully Begay's house. There's even flight tracking data on those balloons. This one started off in Nevada, then crossed the country, went to the Caribbean, then finally popped up again off the coast of California and landed on the Navajo reservation, right by Kayenta. So not little green men from Mars, probably more like...
No, why would it ever be little green men from Mars? Right. Let's see, what else do we have? Yeah, we are probably gonna have to start winding down shortly, although I do have one more thing to touch upon after this evening. There's tons of good videos by the look of it on this subject. Let's see if there are any more that a close-up picture of the Chinese balloon looks just like Google's or NASA's thing that they sent up. Michelle says, why mention C-19? Perhaps that story came out when you couldn't get on the news unless you were specifically talking about bullshit 19. Satellites orbiting in outer space is a hoax. Conscious evolution. Again, yeah, it looks like tons of people have made some interesting ones on that. If you were around for our intermission, you would have seen my video from 2018. Let's see. Any more crash landing supposed satellites? No, they all seem to be about either ones we've already looked at or just about weather balloons. Satellites attached to balloon. Let's just say satellites crash. No, again, it's more or less what we have already seen, I believe. And what's this one? Oh, Samsung. Hang on. Let's have a look. Oh. I don't know what that's meant to be. A satellite crash. Okay. Let's see, is it more than just photos? No, it's CGI, of course. Yeah, not bad effects by whoever made this video, but they're not pretending it's real. Because of course, when these things do come down, they've always got their, in inverted commas, parachutes attached. Yeah, I think I certainly haven't changed my mind since 2018 that satellites are not what we've been told. And yeah, back in 2018, maybe I was more willing to believe, I was at least more willing to accept that the likes of NASA, the mainstream media that present the information might have a touch of credibility. No, they've lost it all now, to the point where, yeah, I'm making these videos every Sunday, scrutinizing the mainstream each week, including one of my favorite things to look at, I gotta say, is let's see, pregnancies. I have to touch on a pregnancy. Jeremy Clarkson, I'm not sure if you're familiar with this guy. His daughter Emily has confirmed she has welcomed her first child. Her husband Alex, and of course, they announced it on everyone's favourite bullcrap platform, Instagram. That is the network full of fake babies. This picture, again, I'd have to go on our Instagram account, which maybe I'll do before we finish. But yeah, okay. What's her name? Emily. Is it Emily Clarkson? Yes. Emily Clarkson, Instagram. They always seem to announce everything on Instagram. Is that who it is? Or is that... Okay. Yeah, we'll see this person hopping on one foot or doing workouts when they're pregnant, or just doing stuff most pregnant people couldn't. Yeah, like all pregnant women just pose in front of the camera. Might look convincing, but absolutely possible that everything this person is wearing below their arms is just a silicone suit. And right, again, yeah, they always pose, these celebrity mums always pose for photo shoots. I didn't know vulnerability could make me so strong. Yeah, good one. I think it's trying to make genuine mothers think that if you're not out there posing for the cameras when you're pregnant, that you're somehow not doing things right. Let's see. And they don't waste an opportunity. I mean, what for many people would be a, very emotional moment. Here I am sharing my baby bump. They don't waste an opportunity just to promote where they got their outfit from, which means they were paid for this post. Manners of London, and the pyjamas is right. Dressed in the first pic is from Manners of London, and the pyjamas is in that stunning selfie are from Stripe and Stare, because they cannot. Yeah, playing football when you're pregnant, why not? No problem when you're just wearing a fake baby bump. It's all a, there's no danger. You haven't got to worry about anything. Just run round, it's fine. Since I'm clearly not a natural athlete, I opt, again, this is just something promoting Sky Sports. Yeah, if you're a mother and if you're an expectant mother and you're not kicking around footballs or playing basketball, what's wrong with you? Why aren't you worshipping people such as M. Clarkson? This person knows how to do it. What's that say? I'm in the bush outside and I really love you. Okay. What a freak show. Yeah, it'd be interesting to see when the baby does finally come along, whether how long it takes them to how long it takes them to again, why waste an opportunity? These are revenue streams, these websites. I mean, these accounts, they're not places where they share personal family photos. It's just somewhere where they promote products. But no, they would have us believe that typical, we're having a baby, because this is how you announce it. You go on Instagram. What a load of crap. Yeah, I'll be interested to see how long it takes that baby to start crawling up its father's chest, like Conor McGregor's baby managed to do after like 10 days or some rubbish. Is this supposed to be how she looks like? When did she give birth then? 14 hours ago. Okay, now they've got pictures of her in a bikini. Surely this isn't... It's very easy to manipulate. So although it's all went a bit wobbly when I moved, if I had done it in front of a white wall, I'd have been clever enough, and you'd literally have no way of knowing. Compare with caution. I don't know what they're on about. I don't know if I actually want to watch it to find out.
We're all aware that video editing software exists, but I think something that we don't quite appreciate.
Are they about to admit that they've just faked all their pregnancy images?
It's the extent of it. I can stand here right now in front of you with my real body, but I can also use an app to make my waist smaller. I can make my hips a little bit wider.
You can make yourself look pregnant. You can make yourself look feminine. Yeah, we know. You go on Instagram and fake the crap out of it, because that's all the production company that puts these people in front of us, yeah, they do it all. We're well aware of that, but thank you for letting us know.
I can make my boobs bigger. I could make my waist even a tiny bit smaller than it was.
Make yourself look pregnant.
I could grow and get a little taller. I could make my legs slimmer.
Make yourself look pregnant.
I can even change my neck and shoulders. And then I can move around. I can exist on your screen, portraying a body that I don't own.
Absolutely right. She's being 100% honest. They can do anything. It is, yeah, as I said at the end of the last Bobby Z show, illusion is their game. And that's all we're going to get for us. Yeah, AJ says no face swelling, not pregnant. No. If I go to explore, I'm not actually sure what that would give me. Quite often they give you they'll always give you celebrity children. This is someone from Coronation Street, I think. I bet we'll see this person doing a photo shoot whilst heavily pregnant. Let's see. Oh, this is OK Magazine, right. I'm sure Lucy Fallon. Let's see how much of her, again, identical poses. Standing on one leg whilst heavily pregnant. Wait for it, I'm sure we'll see it. Wearing those sorts of boots, yeah. Good one. But of course, make sure you get all your promotions in. Who says making money off being pregnant is a bad idea? Direct for babies. I mean, okay, if you can make a bit of dosh out of being pregnant, why not? But just the relentlessness of it, everything. Oh, where's their photo shoot? Well, this is it, surely. Turn that crap off. Yeah, these people aren't, as that woman admitted, these people are nothing as they appear. Quickly promote a pram. I know I look 15 in this picture and we picked our pram. Make sure you tell us where you got it from. And obviously we went for the Egg Stroller UK in olive green from Direct for Baby. And I'm crying and I'm crying actual real life tears. A real life baby is going to chill in here, we'll see. Maybe, but it won't be one you've given birth to, I got a feeling. Yeah, I think, is this the pregnancy photo shoot? Maybe not. Maybe, yes, because he's got the scan photo printed on his... Oh, she's holding the scan photo, so that's how we know, I guess. Yeah, and all people seem to answer with is just an endless list of emojis, almost like they've just programmed a load of bots to leave answers. I mean, leave replies to some of these posts. Yeah, it's all a load of shite. So when did it give? They gave birth 6 hours ago. They posted their first image of the baby. Breaking news, guys. You heard it here first. Misha had an upset stomach for the whole thing. I'm sorry to hear that. Yeah, whilst in that position, it never seems to affect these people. They just carry on as normal. Weightlifting, going down slides, not giving a crap. In the case of Katy Perry, she just we'd see her hop out of chairs, and yeah, beyond ridiculous. Okay, we are gonna start calling it a day from there. So let me express my thanks and gratitude to Michelle, Fish Out of Water, Maria, AJ R. Wild, Affected Area, Jeff Gashead, KG, and Maria Ellender. Let me see, anyone else? Nathan Oakley and David were in the chat earlier. I don't know if you're still tuned in, I hope so. And if there's anyone that I haven't mentioned who's left a comment, please do. Actually, yeah, Fish Out of Water says moon bump. You're absolutely right. This all seems to be all they happen to use. Let me see. Maria's talking about the research did into Huntley at the time and didn't believe the official story. To be honest, back then when that all came out, I didn't question the official story about Ian Huntley, just as, and I'm sure a lot of people now won't be questioning the official story about the Victoria Bully, Michelle Bully, I can't even remember the name now, I'm terrible for memory, especially at this time of night. But yeah, once you do question it and you realise, once you look at it with a critical eye and you realise believing the mainstream, I mean, they don't automatically receive credibility. The credibility should be something you earn, but when it comes to organisations like the BBC, I don't know, NBC in America, NASA, the governments, they all seem to just be gifted credibility without even needing to ask for it. We all just assume that they're trustworthy because they have a lot of responsibility. Therefore, yeah, we must be able to trust these people, right? Not always. They're not always trustworthy. It looks like Fish Out of Water says hopefully I'll be on time next week. No problem. I do try and do a shorter live stream in the week, the Bobby Z show. So if you're around midweek, I don't know, probably Wednesday, I'll try and get one out before Wednesday, but I should be back before next Sunday, but if not, yeah, I'll certainly be back Sunday. I'm going to get back into... In fact, the reason I started doing the shorter live streams, the Bobby Z show, was because I had this terrible ear infection. For like over a week, I was literally deaf. And it's... Yeah, I just couldn't do live streams for very long, so I just tried to put a few short ones out. I've stuck with them. I've done 10 episodes of it so far, so maybe I'll mix things up a little bit. We'll see. Yeah, but thanks to everyone who's taken the time to tune in this evening. As always, before you leave, if you want to hit the thumbs up button, that is massively appreciated. And if you're not already subscribed, why not? And share it over on social media if that is your thing. I also wish to thank my Patreon supporter Linda, and yeah, invite anyone that wants to check me out over on Patreon just to find the link in the description or scan the QR code, patreon.com/bzines. Right, Micho said it's a warm day there, 28 degrees. That sounds good, isn't it? Yeah, you're in the middle. Well, you must be towards the end of your summer now, getting on for your autumn, because I know spring is just around the corner, and yeah, it'd be nice to have some early. Well, I do gradually notice that the sun is staying up later and later now. It stays up till gone 5 p.m. now, which is pretty good for us, but it's still pretty freezing. But Michelle, I know it's Monday where you are, so I hope you enjoy your week. And oh, by the way, Michelle, I did send you an email. Yeah, if anyone else wants to contact me by email, then there is a, yeah, you can find it on the About section of my YouTube channel. It's bobbyzines@gmail.com if anyone particularly wants it. Right, let's put a little message on the screen. Thanks and good night, I think we'll say. We're going to play out with a video of mine from, when was it from? Thanks and good night. I'll resize. Right, let me just see. This one is about Deborah James' most ridiculous tweet from October 2022. Again, this is another video that came from a live stream I did on this channel and uploaded to Chronicles of the Unconvinced, my other channel. Again, links in the description if you want to find that one, where this video originally came from. So yeah, thanks everyone for tuning in this evening. Yeah, it's been great to see a few new names in the live chat, and of course I know a lot of them came from Nathan Oakley giving me a shout out, and I really appreciate that. I do plan to trim that little bit of his video out. Yes, top YouTuber, as I know. Yeah, there's a lot of good ones out there. Okay, thanks guys. Glad to hear you got it, Michelle, and glad you liked the show, Jeff, and everyone else. Yeah, I love reading your comments. Apologies if I didn't read them all, but I try my best. Okay, I'm gonna close down there, and here is my video from October about Deborah James and her most ridiculous tweet. Bye for now. I'll be back in a week. Take care. But enough of that, because this for me is absolutely ridiculous. Bowel Babe, the celebrity cancer victim. Imagine being famous for that. Everything